Nikki, for all of the things that you have done for me personally in my career and for all of the students in this room and the many who will come after. So I'm going to start and tell you a really quick story about my first semester of law school. I was very afraid of torts. It was a confusing topic. The professor was himself a Berkeley law grad from 2014. He had been a practicing cardiologist for decades and then decided to go to law school to become a postdoc health scholar, and then it was his first year teaching torts. So our class was very apprehensive about how this was going to go because we weren't sure if he was equipped to handle us or if we were equipped to handle him teaching the course. I remember getting cold called, and I just sat there stunned and didn't answer the question. That professor came up to me the next day and said, "Hey, Noor, I feel like I shortchanged you. Do you want a second shot at a cold call?" And he also said, "Or I can say that, like, I marked you off, you're good, like, I won't call on you again the rest of the semester." And I said, "No, call on me again. I'll be ready next time." So he said, "All right, I'll call on you tomorrow." So that evening, I went and I read the assignment 3 times, and it was Paul's graph, which I'm sure a lot of people in this room remember is a very pertinent case from tort law about duty, and the 2 judges, Cardozo and Andrews, kind of engage in this inquiry about the scope of duty, right? I will never forget this because I read it 3 times that evening. And then the next day, my professor called on me and he asked me a series of questions. Some of them were really difficult, but I hit them point by point because I had just read the case so many times that I was just ready to prove myself in that environment. I tell you this story because I came into law school as a first-generation, low-income woman of color. I was raised by a single mom. Nobody in my family has a graduate degree. And coming into this hyper-elite competitive environment where the language is so alienating and the vernacular is so difficult to adapt and grasp was really challenging for me. And so the performative nature of a cold call is one of the places as a 1L where you can demonstrate to your classmates and to your professor that you're engaging with the material and you're doing your best job. And the fact that this professor recognized that I was someone who would want a second chance made me feel like my education was being valued and what I thought about the law mattered in the classroom. I tell you this story because I think that embedded in this story is similarly the work that Nikki has been doing with PracticePro. When I came in as a diversity scholar last year, I came to the same conference. I sat down and I listened to understand how law firm economics work. What is a billable hour and how attorneys manage their time and how they find the balance between supporting their clients and also growing and becoming more competent as professionals, making time to mentor other people, and all of that just became very, very clear as a result of this conference. I think what's really important about PracticePro is that it's not just a program, it's a community. Nikki didn't mention this, but one of my predecessors as editor-in-chief of California Law Review is also a PracticePro scholar. So it really just shows you the level of enrichment that you get from a program like this and that individualized attention. It just gives you the confidence to go for those things like being the senior most leader on the law review or joining a moot court team or heading up a racial or gender or ethnicity-based affinity group within a law firm or at your law school. I think that this program is really, really important. I hate to bring up a scandal, but I'm sure a lot of us are thinking about the college admissions scandal that came up earlier this week. And I think what's important about that conversation is what are schools and practitioners and people like Nikki and all of these other folks who are part of this profession doing to fill the social capital gap, right? So when we think about people who come into law school or come in as an undergraduate or come into the workforce who lack information, whether if it's about how to do a good job or how to be a good mentor or how to take direction, filling that gap and filling that social capital gap is really, really important. And I think PracticePro does that. It has done that for students like me. It has done that for other students in this room, and I hope that it continues to do so for future law students because there are people who are really, really bright, who have so much that they can contribute to this profession, but they come in and they don't have the same starting point as a lot of other people. And getting them to that same starting point is beneficial for the entire legal community. So I think that's what's really amazing about PracticePro. That's the personal impact that it's had on me. And I'm looking forward to becoming a member of this legal community and continuing that work because it's really, really important. I had the opportunity this past year to start a new program at Berkeley Law. It's called the Academic Empowerment Program, and it's an entirely peer-to-peer program for 1L students of color. And it's focused on enriching academic skills, but also building community among students from different marginalized backgrounds to talk about the experience of law school. And lo and behold, my successor for that program is this year's diversity scholar from Berkeley. It's Adnan. So this network is really amazing. People are doing really incredible work. These are outstanding students and practitioners who are here today, and I hope that this community continues to grow and make a difference in so many people's lives as it has mine. Thank you.